Today is the final day of the MLB season, which means there's a lot to talk about. From MLB teams punching their ticket to the playoffs, to LeBron headed to his 10th NBA Finals, to the Stars forcing Game 6 in the Stanley Cup, and recaps of Week 2 and predictions for Week 3 in the NFL. All coming up next with your hosts, Andrew Hale and Jotham Israel. But first, a word from our amazing sponsor, Anchor. Week 2 was a bit surprising. I mean, we had some good picks, and there were some upsets like Monday night Raiders Saints. I'm just very surprised you had the boldness to pick the Raiders.
I mean, what did you expect from me? I mean, you picked the Raiders last week for a reason, right?
I mean, yeah, but Saints and Carolina, both of those teams are two different teams in my opinion.
Okay, I see your point, but this Raiders team is different, though. I saw something in the Raiders. I just had a real gut feeling that they was gonna come out there and beat the Saints. I had a real good feeling, and that feeling was really good.
Dude, I mean, hey, it was their first game in their new stadium, and they sure played like they had almost a chip on their shoulder. They played very, very well.
Whew. Yeah, dude. I mean, Darren Waller had one of the games of his life. I was looking like, who is this kid, Darren Waller? I couldn't believe it. I was like, this kid showing up out of nowhere. Derek Carr looking like Drew Brees. They look like it was a quarterback swap. I'm like, what is going on here?
Dude, yeah, I mean, even the Saints had a chance to, I mean, score with a few seconds left, but they did not look as dominant as I thought they would have. I mean, it was just a bit surprising to me. But there were some other good games like the Patriots Seahawks. That was a very good game.
Oh, much better than I expected when I was looking at the score late in the game. I mean, you look at Seahawks 12-point lead with that little time left. I'm like, oh, this game's over. I actually turned the game off. I was like, I was done. But no, Drew, what is it with the Patriots, the Seahawks, and the 1 yard line?
Uh, some questionable play calls.
Oh my goodness! I mean, they make it really, really exciting. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is some real exciting stuff. But man, they do some really, really funky things on the goal line. You got the Russell Wilson interception. Then you have, I mean, Tom Brady couldn't get it in. He actually fumbled to push him back in 2016, and now Cam Newton gets flipped for the L. Did a whole 270, had his back on the ground. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, this may be one of the first times that I've slightly like almost pulled for the Patriots. I by no means a fan of the Patriots, but Cam Newton, I like him as with his role as the starting quarterback for the Patriots. Good to see.
Oh yeah, definitely. And also it also gives you a reason to root for the Patriots, obviously, because no Tom Brady. Just insert Cam Newton.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't think Cam Newton's gonna win a lot of championships with the Patriots. It's not gonna be the same dominance as Tom Brady. Also, clip that because who knows. Um,
Yeah.
But there were some other kind of surprising games. I mean, the Chiefs only beat the Chargers by 3, and I mean barely beat the Chargers. That was a close game.
Oh yeah, it took Patrick Mahomes to do Patrick Mahomes stuff to, get them back in that game. They're down double digits. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here in Los Angeles? This is some good stuff. Justin Herbert, that was a pretty good start. And then I'm sitting here thinking, I know they're going to do it eventually. I know the Chiefs are going to be the Chiefs eventually.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Herbert, did you see what happened with Tyrod Taylor? That was so
Oh,
bizarre.
bro, punched at his lungs? Are you kidding me?
I
Team
don't know.
doctor?
I don't know how a a team doctor who has to have some kind of like medical credibility, like how can that doctor somehow puncture a player's lung?
When I saw that, it sounded so stupid. I couldn't believe it.
Dude, and they said that they're still going to start Tyrod Taylor. That's kind of surprising. I mean, I was very surprised by Herbert. He had a really good game.
Yeah, I strongly disagree with Anthony Lynn here. I think you should go ahead and get Justin Herbert in sometime, man. If Tyrod Taylor's 100%, we're starting him. What? Bro, give my man's Herbert. That is your quarterback of the future. Give my man's Herbert some time.
Dude, yeah, I mean, when you have more yards than Patrick Mahomes in your first game ever, yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, and you showed versatility too. He was running the football, really well too.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I was just surprised, but Harrison Butker, he should be the MVP of the game. I mean, at the end, he hit three straight 50-yard field goals. They tried to ice him. There was a penalty. That was pretty crazy.
I will say this: the Chiefs are the team that the Bears really wanted. A team with Patrick Mahomes and a really, really clutch kicker. But they couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's sad, honestly. I mean, I the Chiefs, but again, with the final score, I was just surprised. I mean, when you see the Chiefs only win by 3 against a team like the Chargers, I mean, who knows? Maybe the Chargers. I mean, Chargers so far they won a close one against the Bengals and then they lose a close one to the Chiefs. So who knows? Maybe they're back to their 2019 selves. But it's should be exciting. I was just surprised by the final.
Yeah, only thing is no Duran James. Obviously, still a big loss. But dude, I mean, the team can still, be a contender. I mean, still, it's the season is still really young, so who knows, man? And if they keep starting Justin Herbert, which I doubt that's going to happen with Anthony Lynn's mindset, I think the Chargers, could have a chance for that, 6 seed, 7 seed, maybe. We'll see how it goes, man.
Yeah. And I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but man, there were a ton of injuries.
Oh,
A ton of injuries.
dude, it was so heartbreaking to see. I mean, and obviously, there's no question the 49ers got hit the hardest. No question.
Yeah, I mean, their entire team's basically injured, and then they have to go right back to New York and play on the same field. Yikes.
It was so stupid. Like every time, every like 15, 20 minutes, injury update, injury update, injury update. I'm just like, oh my goodness, are you serious? What is going on? Are the fields not working? Did they not get their warm up stretches in, or what's going on? I
Yeah.
think we had like 7 torn ACLs throughout the NFL.
Oh, yikes. That's pretty bad. And most of the injuries were not like uh no name players. Like these were some of the biggest names in football.
Oh yeah, dude, it was. This is bad. I mean, this affects the playoff race in such a big way. Although I don't think the Giants would have made the playoffs even if Saquon was still running. But obviously, it hurts development in the future. That really hurts.
Yeah, that was a tough loss. I mean, even Christian McCaffrey, he got hurt with his ankle. Jimmy Garoppolo, like again, the 49ers, their entire team's like in a wheelchair right now.
Decimated.
Yeah. But
That's, uh,
another very, very surprising finish was the Cowboys and the Falcons. I No one likes the Cowboys. I hate them. But
dang.
I was just Falcons. They may be worse at holding leads than the Lions. Like this is another blown lead. And I mean, I wouldn't say pretty crucial game, but who knows? Maybe this could be very critical down like the stretch towards the end of the season. I mean, they could have been 1-2. Now they're 0-2. So big loss potentially. But man, that was a heartbreaker.
You did not just say that. You did not just say that the Falcons are worse chokers than the Lions.
Dude, I got an interesting stat that proves the Lions um could be worse, but I was saying they I would say the Falcons blow like more important games, I'd say.
Ah, okay. More important games. Okay, that
Because the Lions haven't played an important game in years. So,
Okay, that's a decent ratio sizing right there. I'll admit that. But seriously, dude, that onside kick that was abominable. That was I don't know if I've ever seen it in my life. Just a ball rolling and you don't just pounce on it. Just end the game by putting your chest on the ball.
They literally waited for it to go 10 yards. The defense. That like what?
I was
I
so mesmerized when you told me because I couldn't watch the game. I couldn't watch the Falcons Cowboys game because I didn't have it on my local TV listings. But you're sitting here telling me they recovered the onside kick. I said, "Oh, this game's over. They're gonna go
yeah.
down, kick a game-winning field goal, and Jerry's gonna go nuts."
Yeah, I mean it was over as soon as they recovered the onside kick. I mean, it was a really tough loss because they were up so big. They were down 20 at a point. The Cowboys were, and then you know Greg Zuerlein. I think that is a good signing by the Cowboys. I mean, he was really really good for the Rams, but nonetheless, yeah. Once they recovered, I was like, yep, that's it. That is it.
Yeah, dude. But let's go on to make some week 3 picks, or as I like to call it here, wave 3. We're gonna start with, huh? This is a really interesting matchup here. Battle of the Heart Runners, the Bears and the Falcons.
Mm. Um, Honestly, I feel like the Bears do have some momentum. I feel like they do. I mean, I wouldn't say this is a must win, but this is definitely, like you say, a game that they should win and hopefully should win. Um, I With that being said, I think I'm going to pick the Bears. The Falcons, I'm guaranteed they're decimated. I guarantee the Bears have a lot of confidence. I mean, they had two close wins, but nonetheless, they won them. The Falcons had two close losses. So, yeah, I'm going to pick the Bears.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chicago here too. Although Khalil Mack has been a bit questionable, and so has Julio Jones. I feel like the Bears, like you said, they have a lot of momentum, and that loss last week in Dallas, man, that's gonna I think that killed the Falcons team, man, because they
Yeah.
had it right there in the bread bank, and their offense was doing really well. Their offense had a really really good game. You could say they had a good game in Seattle too, but dude, they went crazy against the Cowboys. I was like, okay, this Falcons team's offense looks like they could be revived, and then the defense fails them. I mean, absolutely fails them. And even though Trubisky has his on and off times, I would expect him to be on against this defense because that is atrocious. Because it's not like the Lions and the Giants defense were absolutely atrocious and they can't do anything. You know what? I'm gonna take
Questionable.
that back after.
Questionable. I was gonna say. I mean, have you seen the Lions defense? That's pretty bad.
Yeah, as soon as I said that, I thought about what happened in Green Bay, and I was like, you know what? Let me take that back, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, it seems like Trubisky goes off against bad defense. If he plays like a team like the Rams, he's gonna like go like 15 for like 47. Probably not that bad, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm talking. It may not show with 32 incompletions, but it may show like 10, 15 bad air mails.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I got the Bears in this one, man. Um, we got an interesting 2-0 interconference matchup, though. I like this game. The Rams and the Bills.
Hmm. I also like that game. Whew, dude, I like what the Bills are doing. I feel like they could go pretty far this year. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, uh, the Bills, they've looked good. Josh Allen looks really good, and so do the Rams. I was kind of surprised. I called them inconsistent week one, but that should not be said because they have looked consistent as any team has this season.
Yeah.
I like both teams a lot, but man, I do like what the Bills are doing. I feel like the Bills are going to win this one, but it's going to be close. I feel like the defense of the Rams is going to give the Bills a hard time, but I feel like they're going to fight through it and pull off the win.
Yeah, Jared Goff really, really got his wheels running down there, up there in Philadelphia. I mean, the offense was really, really efficient, and I like what I've seen from the Bills too, but I just feel like the Rams have really, gotten back to them the normal selves, the selves that Sean McVay got them into the playoffs. And with that being said, I think the Rams are going to find a way to pull this one out in Buffalo. I hope I'm wrong because I really do want to see the Bills win this game more than the Rams. But I think both teams are so identical. They can be a bit inconsistent when
Mm,
they're off, but man, when they are good, they are good. I just think
this
the
is
side of the coin. Ugh,
a tough pick.
ugh. You know what? I'm gonna change my pick. I'm gonna go with the Bills here.
Dude, I literally, if you picked either team, I would have been fine with because I honestly don't know either. This could go either way. It's pretty, it's a tough game to pick.
Yeah, very tough, especially with two teams that you're still thinking, are they back for real or hmm?
Yeah,
Whew.
I mean, it's gonna be close. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever had to change picks.
Hey, I literally changed picks last week. I said the Cowboys, and then I changed it to the Falcons. So,
Oh man, wow! But we have another interesting matchup of a much lesser magnitude, of course, but the Washington football team and the Cleveland Browns.
fantastic game. I'm really looking forward to it. No, I'm completely not serious at all. Um, I think from I was kind of disappointed in the football team last week because they looked like they were really good in week one, and then I mean maybe that's just the Cardinals, but I'm gonna pick the Browns. I told you I like what they did against Cincinnati on that Thursday night game. I really did. Their offense came alive, and I literally predicted that game as perfect as possible. Baker Mayfield, Odell connected a few times, big plays. Baker Mayfield is starting to heat up. I'm sure the rest of the team is as well. I'm gonna pick the Browns. I feel like this is a game they should win, but who knows? Maybe the football team will, jump out and surprise.
I was an inch away from coming on this show and saying that the Washington football team would beat the Cleveland Browns, but I I really do not know. After watching them for the first time in a full game, I I I don't know how that team is going to keep up with Odell. I really don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Cleveland Browns here. They
Yeah,
should win this game. If this team is for real, these are the games that you should win.
yeah, I agree. And you said it was your first time watching the football team play before. Man, isn't it boring? Isn't it like they are a boring team? They do nothing.
Like, dude, I had to I had to turn the game from my TV to my tablet, secondary watcher, because I was like, you know what, this Chiefs Chargers game is
Yeah,
eons better than what I'm watching and here in Glendale. So yeah, bro.
yeah. That they're just a boring team, and the Browns should win this one.
Yeah, speaking of boring teams, Vikings, Titans. Titans win, no discussion. This game's over. I'm done talking. No, I'm just playing. But bro, I just don't see how Tennessee would lose this game in an empty U.S. Bank Stadium. Kirk Cousins has been absolute garbage. I said last week while picking the Colts, I think I trust Kirk Cousins more than I do Philip Rivers. Kirk Cousins, this man was looking like a peewee player on a high school team, bro. I'm just looking like, bro, what is this man doing?
7 interceptions in his last 6 games. Yeah, that is that is not good. That and the Titans have a good defense. They have a solid defense, not as good as their offense, but yeah, I'm gonna pick the Titans as well. I feel like they will run through the Vikings. Um, I mean, who knows? Maybe the Vikings will play a little bit better. Maybe Kirk Cousins will get back on track, but I just don't see it. The Titans should win this one. I mean, again, they're similar to the Bills. If they're for real, this is a game that they should win.
Yeah, definitely. Because the Vikings, they came in here with some real good expectations, some unexpectedly high expectations. Because you just traded Stephon Diggs, and your defense is a bit decimated. So how exactly do you think this was going to be the same team that made the playoffs? Um, so no, but dude, Tennessee, you know something funny? They're actually favoring Minnesota on ESPN's matchup predictor. I'm like, what type of football are y'all watching? Like this team, I know I understand the Titans have won their first two games against the Broncos and the Jaguars by a field goal. But who on that Vikings defense is going to stop Derrick Henry? That's my question.
Yeah, and they had some injuries last week as well, so it's gonna be a tough road for the Vikings.
Yeah, only reason the Vikings win this game is if they take advantage of if AJ Brown is not going to play this game. That's the only way.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, and I could see the Vikings winning if their pass game gets going. Other than that, nah.
Oh man, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. The Titans should win this game, and I said they were going to win the AFC South, but I didn't think it was going to be, you know, I didn't know it was going to be like this. I didn't know it was going to be like this 2 weeks in, man. Oh boy, but I think we might have an AFC playoff preview here. Raiders Patriots.
Mm, that is an interesting game. I feel this one. I feel like could go either way. Um, yeah. Las Vegas have scored 30 points in two straight games for the first time since 2016. I think that means their offense is good. Um, the Patriots. I also like have what they have done with Cam Newton in utilizing his run game. No surprise there, but man, the Raiders. I feel like they're gonna go. I would count this as an upset, honestly. I think they're going to pull an upset over the Patriots. Even though the Raiders are 2-0, I'm counting this as an upset because the Patriots are the Patriots. But the Raiders, I do like what they have done. They've really looked good. I'm going to pick the Raiders for this upset.
Interesting pick. I like the pick though. I mean, every time we've picked a Raiders game, somebody has disagreed. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go to Patriots because I feel like what I saw from Cam Newton up there in Seattle, he was throwing darts, my guy. I mean, absolute darts. The deep bomb, the Julian Edelman settled it for me. I was just like, okay, Cam Newton's back. He's back. This man is back. He did it with his legs against Miami. He did it with his arm against Seattle, and I was like, okay, this is the Cam Newton that I loved watch. This is the Cam Newton that I loved watching when he was in Carolina. So I think this Cam Newton is really going to show up. I think it might be a combination. He might do it with his legs. He might do it with his arm, depending on how much pressure that Raiders defense puts on him. But no Henry Ruggs potentially. I don't know because that's a big part of their team in my opinion. So we'll
Yeah.
have to wait and see. But I got the Patriots in this one.
Okay. I do feel like this game could go either way.
Yeah, definitely, especially with John Gruden. You know he has a chip on his shoulder. You know why, right?
Yeah. I mean, not even that he has a chip on the shoulder, but like the Raiders, they brought back their mean mentality because that defense and that offense both are pretty like just brutal.
Oh yeah, and add the fact that John Gruden is the head coach of the Raiders, and he still has the tuck rule on his mind.
Yeah, that is a good point. I guarantee he's still thinking about that.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, definitely. That hey, that could give him some momentum. Who knows?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna run over to this. Ow! Ow! MetLife turf. Okay, this is bad because we got a 49ers Giants game. That's great.
That's kind of weird that they played on the same field back to back weeks away. That's interesting, but no Jimmy Garoppolo. That's gonna be tough. I think it'd be the weirdest score if we saw the Giants beat the 49ers somehow. But dude, I don't know. This could go either way because they have so many injuries. But I think I'm gonna pick the 49ers. I feel like their run game is gonna play well because that's basically all they have left. I feel like their run game will do a lot. Will be not better, but be definitely utilized today. But the Giants are just. I mean, Giants. They're not as bad as the Jets, is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
So
they
I'm gonna pick the
definitely.
49ers.
Yeah, the Giants definitely put up a fight last week against the Bears. I thought they were out, and well, they came back and made it a game. They were one touchdown away, a couple of inches away from getting a win. Very I won't say undeserving win, but a very gutsy win, I'll say.
Yeah, yeah.
With that being said, I think I'm going with the upset here. I'm going to go Giants. I just think the 49ers are way too injured. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Nick Mullins as a backup. He's had some pretty good games in place of Jimmy Garoppolo when he tore his ACL. He's had some pretty good games. But no Bosa, no Ford, no Kittle, no Greenlaw, no Mostert. I don't think no Sherman. No, I don't think the Giants are going to lose this one. I think they have a better offense than we think they have. Even though they only put up 10 and 13 points, I feel like if they can get it going more, they just need the consistency from Daniel Jones and him to stop turning the ball over because he can turn the ball over a lot. But I mean, he doesn't have that super scary defense to worry about because he just doesn't. Last 2 weeks, he's had to go up against the Steelers' defense and then the Bears' defensive line. Khalil Mack, TJ Watt, them boys are something different. Now you have a 49ers defense that is decimated. I think he should take advantage of this one. I'm going Giants.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, I think, has a lot more potential than, let's say, Sam Darnold. Sorry, again, I'm not a Sam Darnold believer, but I I do feel like the Giants could pull it upset. But man, I just see the 49ers utilizing the run game, and I think that will do it for them. But I would not be surprised if the Giants won.
Yeah, I this is basically a garbage game.
Yeah, yeah. It's I don't think it's going to be that entertaining, especially like the 49ers are not an entertaining team when, half of their team is injured, so.
Yeah, definitely not. But speaking of entertaining, we could have a potentially entertaining game between two winless teams. I can't believe I'm saying that, but Bengals Eagles.
That's kind of a weird game too.
Yeah.
I feel like Joe Burrow is going to get his first win today. I feel like the Bengals are they honestly they should have won the first game against the Chargers. They really should have. And I mean, they didn't play too bad against the Browns, but the Browns just have their number over the past 2-3 years. I'm gonna pick the Bengals, but that Eagles defense is not good at all. Not and the O line for the Eagles terrible. I I don't really see anything going for the Eagles at all. I think this is a day that the Bengals will get their offense going. I feel like it is definitely a good day for that to happen. I like Joe Burrow. I really do like what he's done. I just think his offensive line needs to give him a little bit more protection because he got destroyed against the Browns.
Yeah, I really, agree. You can say the same about Carson Wentz, although he hasn't really been taking notable sacks like that. He really hasn't been that good the first 2 weeks. The offense is still yet to put 20 points on the board. And yeah, if there's a game where you got to put up a W, is this one against the Bengals. Carson Wentz has to come out of his slumber, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. Joe Burrow is looking real good. This rookie is something special. I mean, this man coming off of that 60 TD season, I think he's translated some of that to the NFL already in his first quarter of the season. So I'm gonna pick the Bengals too. This isn't really much of an upset to me.
I wouldn't say it is either. I mean, I honestly am not a Carson Wentz believer. I was in his potentially MVP season until he got hurt against the Rams, but after that, I still don't understand why they moved on from Nick Foles. The man who got you the Super Bowl, you're just gonna let him go. That's to me, I don't agree. I get Carson Wentz is a little bit younger, but I just he gets hurt way too often. He's so injury prone, and he really hasn't proved to be successful, especially in the playoffs, since he hardly has played any games.
Yeah, it hasn't played a full game last time I checked. It's
Yeah,
been Nick Foles and Josh McCown. Yeah,
I
dude.
don't know why they moved on. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean we'll have to talk about that later, but this is a must win for the Texans against the Steelers, but I don't know because the Texans have had some real. I mean, this is the toughest start to a season that you could possibly ask for. You got to go to Kansas City. Then you gotta have Baltimore come to town. Now you gotta go to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I saw something very interesting. An interesting a take. So people were talking about should Matt Patricia or Adam Gase or Bill O'Brien be on the hot seat, and most people were saying Gase in for the Jets. I probably agree. I also think Patricia will be gone before the season's over, but nonetheless, they're saying that Bill O'Brien shouldn't be on the hot seat because I mean he really hasn't done that bad, and people are saying that the Texans are similar to the Lions in that they have that star quarterback, but no one really around him.
Cap.
Dude, I don't know. I really I don't see much out of anything on the Texans other than Deshaun Watson, but the Steelers they have looked good. They definitely look like their normal dominant selves. I think I'm gonna pick the Steelers. I just like what they've done, and I mean Deshaun Watson he has been good, but again I don't feel that he has that many weapons around him to succeed, especially on the defense. I feel like the Steelers will definitely um, play very, very well on offense today.
Yeah, I unfortunately I agree. But don't get me wrong, the Steelers do have those games where they absolutely stumble with inferior competition. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans found a way to win this one. But I'm still gonna go with the Steelers because I just feel like the team is just better than the Texans. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger, he's been all right. I mean, they had a scare against Denver last week with Jeff Driscoll behind center for his second half. And I'm just like,
Former Lion.
but yeah, I mean, that Steelers team, you know, they can't be proud of themselves. They can't be absolutely comfortable with that 5 point win against a beat up, and I do mean a beat up Denver Broncos team. So they need to turn it around. They definitely need to be more consistent because they had the game in the first half and they kind of let them come back in the second half. You do not want to give Deshaun Watson any confidence that he can come back because I mean, it doesn't matter how bad his team is, he'll make something out of it.
Yeah, I agree, but I just the Steelers offense has looked good.
Yeah, I'm going Steelers here too, man. I just have to.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, but we got another AFC matchup. Although this is probably the most boring game of the week. Jets Colts.
Yeah, that is a pretty boring matchup. I have no interest whatsoever. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Colts though. The Jets, I don't see anything ever going for them. Uh, they just, in my opinion, are not good.
Yeah.
So with them not being good whatsoever, I don't even need to explain myself. I mean, the Colts have had a ton of injuries on the offense, but I don't. I think they could still beat the Jets.
Oh, definitely, dude. Look, Marlon Mack is gone, but Jonathan Taylor stepped in, rushed for 100 yards and a touchdown against the Vikings. I think that Jonathan Taylor pick was a really good one for the Colts, and obviously it's paying dividends right now because you have a legitimate RB1 as your RB2. So um, yeah, now Jonathan Taylor's stepping up, and I think he's going to go ahead and rush for 100 yards again on his Jets defense. If he gets at least 15 carries, he's going for 100 yards against this Jets defense. This Jets team has nothing going for them. I don't even know why Sam Darnold elected to go to the draft early. I honestly don't know why he did that. I still question it. Like when he said he was going to declare early, I was like, dude, you should stay at USC. You are not ready, my guy.
I remember watching his last game during, I believe, the Cotton Bowl, and I was literally saying to myself, this dude is not good because he got obliterated. He was throwing picks. He was doing some questionable decisions. I just I never, and when I saw him go so high, I was like, no, that's not a good pick.
Mm-mm. It was crazy, bro. I that was bad. I not a Sam Darnold believer either. I got the Colts here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, simple as that. But another game. The Panthers and the Chargers.
Ooh, yeah. I'm kind of. I think a lot of people are almost disappointed in Teddy Bridgewater because he has not been good. Um, they, I mean, neither has their defense either. I mean, they've allowed 20 points, 20 plus points in the last 14 straight games. So,
30
uh,
points.
I mean, yeah, just they have not looked good at all. Um, but the Chargers, I'm saying they start Justin Herbert. I think they'll win. If they start Tyrod Taylor, I feel like they have a slightly less chance of winning, but I still feel like they'll pull this one out. The Panthers have been very disappointing.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed too. I picked them in week 1 because I expected them to, utilize Christian McCaffrey to his fullest potential. I don't know about that one, but week 2, I mean Brady and the Bucks, they just landed flat on their face. I'm just like, I don't know, man. So I'm picking the Chargers here, man. Bosa might be too much for that offensive line. I think, and I think the Chargers are really well balanced on offense. I mean, we are really getting a reintroduction to this Chargers offense because it's like no Melvin Gordon, but Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and them boys are still there at the receiving corps, and then what's his name? Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry is still,
Yeah.
a really good tight end in my opinion. Um, he's healthy, so I'm happy for that. I got the Chargers, man. I mean, the Panthers, especially with Christian McCaffrey out, I think it's time to do a little bit of tanking.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Chargers are a better team.
Yeah, dude. But we also have an interesting quarterback versus city matchup: Tom Brady versus Denver, Buccaneers versus Broncos.
Interesting. So the Broncos are really hurt. And like I said, I feel like the Bucks needed a few weeks to get acclimated with their new team, and I think last week they came for, I wouldn't say full circle, but they came pretty close. They looked good. I don't see the Broncos pulling off an upset today. I think the Bucks will play well and win this one.
Yeah, unless Jeff Driscoll goes Ryan Fitzpatrick mode, I don't see
Dude,
anything happening for this Broncos team. I got the Bucks, man. They look like they're starting to really gel together now, especially after Bruce Arians and Tom Brady's little episode after Week 1, which I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, but they got to win, and I think they'll get another one. Tom Brady's going to go 500 against the Broncos.
dude, but Jeff Driscoll or Blake Bortles.
Uh,
That is a disgusting, like, a two-man quarterback team. Oh my gosh.
what? Bro, that's nasty. That's worse than a couple of no names because at least you don't know you
Yeah.
don't know that they both are iffy quarterbacks. I mean, it's just that's a nasty quarterback situation for Vic Fangio, man. Oh,
Yeah, that's not good. There, you're not good. I'm telling you, if I see Blake Bortles beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I will pick the Broncos for the rest of the year.
oh my gosh, dude, he might get lucky like he did in Jacksonville.
Dude, I swear. Yeah, for like 1 year.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But what's not hilarious is this next game, Lions Cardinals. This is a tough one.
I disagree with the tough part. I got Cardinals. I literally, until the Lions show me that they can hold a fourth quarter lead, I'm not picking them. I'm sorry, I picked them the first 2 weeks and they started off real well. They started off very good until the fourth quarter. But the Lions are the first team in NFL history to lose 4 straight games in which they had a double-digit lead. And I guarantee they'll start off like, who knows, like 21-0, and then they'll lose like 40-21.
Dang, dude. But when I said this is a tough game, I didn't mean the pick was going to be tough. I mean the game is going to be tough to watch.
Okay, yeah. So then that's fair then because it is, and the Cardinals are gonna. I like what they're doing on offense. You can tell I'm very angry about the Lions because
Yeah.
they are not good. They're just not a good team. Matt Patricia's gonna get fired before week 8 is. That's my prediction. I hope it happens. Yeah, Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals too. You basically took the words out of my mouth, unfortunately. I just think Hopkins and Murray, that's a dangerous duo right there. Something about duos with Murray in sports. But it's this Cardinals team. I think they're for real, and this is basically a prove it that you're worth it game here against the Lions.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, Kyler Murray looks like an MVP candidate right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. But speaking of MVP candidates, Russell Wilson is finally getting the respect he deserves, huh? Finally, he's got a game against the Cowboys at home.
I this should be a pretty good game for the Seahawks. I I mean, I really don't see the Cowboys doing much against the Seahawks. The Seahawks are a different team from the Falcons, and the Cowboys almost literally got embarrassed by the Falcons. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick the Seahawks. I Russell Wilson has looked very good.
yeah, he went for five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. He can literally I can literally put my hand up and say, "Hey Russell Wilson, throw me one," and he'll throw me five, and I'm just like, "Yo, this dude is finally getting MVP recognition. Give this man the respect he deserves." Russell Wilson, he's gonna lead the Seahawks to a win. I really don't see how the Cowboys pull this one out because they are very very poor performers on the road. Even without fans, they suck. Um, and they've had trouble, trying to win, especially in tough road places. Especially, and Seattle's a tough place to play, man. Even without fans, I got the Seahawks here, man. Just no way that the Cowboys pull it out.
I agree.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's barely escaped the skin of their teeth. Jerry Jones was one onside recovery away from rethinking himself about all the contracts and just thinking about what am I going to do with this team.
Yeah, because they were down 20, and yeah, and they to the Falcons. Uh, yeah, I mean they by all means they did not look great.
Yeah,
So against the Seahawks today will be a tough challenge, but they're not going to get it done.
yeah, dude. But we have an interesting matchup that got less interesting. Packers Saints. Ugh.
Hmm. Yeah, the Saints looked very disappointing against the Raiders, but I mean the Packers they were again down double digits to the Lions. I I really, if the Lions had a competent defense and a head coach, I think that the Lions could have beat the Packers as I predicted last week. I mean the Packers are I feel that the same team they were last year, but I feel like this one is going to be a lot closer than some may think. Um, I think, dude, I'm probably gonna have to pick the Packers. I was not impressed by the Saints, and yeah, I'm gonna pick the Packers. I think they'll pull this one out.
I'm not picking the Saints. I'm definitely not picking the Saints. I got Green Bay here, man. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man right now. He's going crazy like he normally would in the regular season. Um, Drew Brees is not looking like Drew Brees. No Michael Thomas. I don't know if that defense can hang with Aaron Rodgers. Uh just no. Just no. I don't have I'm sorry, I don't have faith in the Saints right now. I really don't. I got the Packers.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah, but hey, we get a better matchup, and this looks to be the matchup of the week. Chiefs Ravens.
This is gonna be a fantastic game. I mean, wow. No, I literally how are you supposed to predict this game? It could go either way.
Oh yeah, this is supposed to be the AFC Championship game last year until Ryan Tannehill said no, sir, pull the Nuggets before the Nuggets, and it was like, no, we are here to be in the conference finals.
Yeah, I mean, yikes. This is a tough pick. The Chiefs, I I wasn't I thought they would have been a lot better against the Chargers, but the Ravens have again gotten out in front of the two teams that they play this year. They have really looked good. But wow, this is tough. I really don't know. Um, but I I think I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs. I feel like their offense will play very well. I feel like their offense is better than the Ravens defense, but this is going to be a shootout. This may be this may be Chiefs
Damn.
Rams. Yeah, this may be Chiefs Rams all over again. This is going to be a shootout.
Chiefs, Rams with no fans in the stands. That's how I like it. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and make this another one on our prediction rivalry list and go with the Ravens because I think the Ravens, their offense has been clicking. They're basically off to the same start they had last season, which was absolutely dominant. Um, I feel like they, are a really good team. Absolutely made Baker Mayfield and the Browns look silly week one. Week two just basically took the life out of Deshaun Watson. Uh, so I think they're gonna go ahead and take this win against the Kansas City Chiefs. It is the regular season after all, and the Ravens are a really good regular season team. This is playoffs. I might have said different, but right now I got the Ravens.
Hey, I'm not mad at the pick. I had a very difficult time trying to pick this one.
I heard. I heard you had a tough time. You were struggling. This is probably your longest pick of the day.
Dude, yeah, I mean, this is tough.
Yeah, but our last pick shouldn't take long. We're gonna take a peek at next Thursday's Thursday night football matchup. Uh, Broncos Jets. Ugh,
3 weeks straight, we've had terrible matchups. Uh, gross.
that's a nasty.
Uh, I'm gonna pick. Dude, Blake Bortles against Sam Darnold. That's literally, I'm sick. I'm gonna pick the Broncos. For what reason? I think they're better than the Jets and Sam Darnold.
I'm gonna go pick the Jets because for whatever reason I think they're better than the Broncos defense.
um. Okay.
I mean, this is such an awkward pick because it's so stupid.
I mean,
So stupid.
it's it's literally there's nothing you can really say about these two teams other than that you think they're better than the other. That's as
Yeah,
simple as it is.
simple as that. That's a nasty. I'm glad that's the last non-Fox Thursday night football game because yeah, we need some good Thursday nighters now.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that's the NFL. Crazy stuff. Speaking of crazy stuff, well, we got half of the finals matchup set up. Lakers took out the Nuggets. I had a good ride, man. I had a really good ride.
Yeah, that was from the get go. That was a very bold pick, but man, I was surprised by the Nuggets. They have a very very bright future. I think they will be fantastic in years to come. I just like they really took the NBA by storm. I mean, they even beat the Lakers once, which is I think a lot more than some teams could have. I like I said, I feel like the Lakers and I don't know. Lakers and the Heat, I feel, are the two most dominant teams. But man, I I don't see the Heat beating Anthony Davis and LeBron James. I feel like this is the year that LeBron is like this is his 10th Finals appearance.
Mm-hmm.
That is more than 27 other franchises. That
Something
is
about the number 10,
insane.
right?
Dude, it's insane. I feel like this year the Lakers are the team to beat, and man, they looked good, especially LeBron in the final game. It should be very very exciting. I mean, honestly, if I'm completely honest with you, I kind of want the NBA and the NHL to hurry up and get things over with. I'm ready for the MLB playoffs.
Yeah, dude. But I will say this: the Nuggets had so much adversity behind them going into the series. You just got through with back-to-back 3-1 comebacks, back-to-back game sevens, and now you got to go ahead and face a LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Los Angeles Lakers team that had just rested for the last 6 days, watching you come back from 3-1, just basically chopping on their popcorn. And I'm just like, there's so much adversity. The fatigue is going to have to take a toll on them at some point. And when they went down 3-1, I mean, game one was a blowout, yeah, but the rest of the games had you on the edge of your seat. You didn't know who was going to really win. And game two, obviously, that was a dagger. Game three, the Nuggets almost blew a 20-point lead. It was a 3-point game. Then game four and game five, the Nuggets were there, but they just couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah, they looked gassed.
Yeah, but so you got to give this team credit. If this was, full energy, full health, full strength, both teams, it might have been a much more lengthy series. But you can't. The Nuggets have nothing to hang their heads about. This team is set for the next decade.
I agree.
And you know what? Clip it. I want 4 Mavericks Nuggets series in this decade. I want 4.
I'd like to see that too. I feel like those would be
Keep
like
Ravens.
Chiefs Ravens. Yeah, both both are like young teams with a lot of young talent.
That's a nice comparison. That is a great comparison right there. I don't think I could have thought of that myself, at least in that 10-second span. But dude, yeah, the Nuggets really set for the future. Michael Malone, although I question some of his timely substitutions, he's a really good coach because obviously it takes a lot of coaching to get back from down 3-1 twice in the same postseason. So
Yeah,
yeah, but the Lakers were just on a mission.
yeah.
So, yeah, but that's half of the finals. The other half is still yet to be determined. Could we see another 3-1 comeback, Andrew?
If we did, the Heat got to be embarrassed because I don't know if you've seen what I've seen, but the Heat are the dominant team. They are the way better team. They have too many weapons. I don't know how the Celtics were able to pull off even two. I honestly do not
Wow.
think they'll be coming back. But if they do, the Heat should kind of be salty because this should be a series that they should win.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think they need to close it out tonight. They
Yeah,
have to close it out because you need that extra day of rest against LeBron James because LeBron has basically been waiting for his opponents all postseason. I mean, literally, LeBron and the Lakers get through with a 5-game series. Rockets go to 7 games. Then the Nuggets go 7 games. You think they're not gonna be dominant if the Heat and the Celtics had to go 7 games? Yeah.
yeah. It's a key game because if the Celtics somehow pull this one off, it's gonna be. I think they're gonna have all the momentum going into Game 7.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the Heat should pull this one out tonight. It should be over tonight, man. But
I agree. Yeah,
who knows, man? This is 2020 NBA,
yeah,
and it's been the 3-1, the season of the 3-1 comeback, as
yeah,
Denver showed us.
yeah. It's gonna be a pretty exciting few days until the Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, but either way, I still think the Lakers are gonna win the championship. Just this, I mean, right now, I think this is too much. I think they're just too much for both the Celtics and the Heat. Although those are very sexy franchise matchups, though.
I would hate to see Lakers Celtics in the finals for the 1 millionth time. I would hate it.
Yeah, it'll be my first time seeing it live though, but
Yeah,
you
mine probably too, but still, it's the notorious finals matchup for like years, decades. Two teams who have the most NBA championships. I would hate to see it. I'm trying to see. I'm probably gonna be rooting for the Heat, but I think the Lakers will probably win it.
yeah, I mean, either way, it should be a fantastic, finals hype.
Yeah.
The hype should be fantastic. But speaking of hype, well, we got ourselves a game 6 in the Stanley Cup Final, Drew.
Yeah, I was, man, there's so many chances in the Game 5 overtime last night, man. I thought that the Lightning were gonna do it. I really did, but the Stars continue with their undefeated streak in overtime in the playoffs, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, basically, it's been a battle of overtimes between these two teams. Tampa Bay's been pretty good in overtime. They had that one loss against the Islanders, I believe, and then you got Dallas undefeated. So it's basically an overtime shootout. I would love to see Game 7 overtime Stanley Cup Final.
That would be, I would be nervous, honestly. I really at this point, I don't care because I think I know who's gonna win it. Um, but I from what I saw last night, the Stars look like really gassed. Like they look very tired. Uh, Antoine Hudobin, he looked very tired. I mean, they were playing again 2 overtimes. This year has had the most overtime minutes combined. I think it's like 187 combined. Like that's insane. That's the most ever. Both teams look very tired. Uh, I it's going to be a tough last 2 games. 3, yeah.
Yeah, but they better muster up some energy because this is your season. This is the season right here.
Yeah.
These next this next day, and that was a rough stretch. Back to back nights, overtime games. Ugh, that's a rough stretch, man. The second one is double overtime. Whew.
It's the yeah, I it's dude, I don't know. It's going to be close.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, man. If the Stars pull this off, I know you will be the happiest man on planet Earth.
I wouldn't say the happiest. I mean,
One
I
of the
I would
happiest.
I would just be happy that the Stars won, but I'm trying to see the Red Wings back there. Then I'd be the
Wow.
happiest guy.
Because the Stars win means the Lightning lost.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I'd be like, okay, yeah, thank you, Stars. Screw you, Lightning. Don't like you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, dude, that should be very fun to watch uh during the week. But we got some college football mayhem already. What happened to Oklahoma?
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know. They aren't. I don't feel like they're the same team they have been. I don't feel like um they have the dominant quarterback this year that they've had in the past few years. I mean, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, 3 straight, all playing in the NFL right now. That is impressive.
Heisman
But
candidate too.
all Heisman, 2 Heisman's. One was he runner up? Was Jalen Hurts runner up?
I believe he was runner. I forgot. I forgot who if he was runner up or if he was third. But obviously
He
Joe
was
Burrow.
close. He was close up there.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't feel like they have that dominant quarterback this year though.
yeah, and he had Spencer Rattler looked like he had his freshman moments. He had that OU quarterback blood in him. 387, 4 touchdowns, 30 for 41. That's decent. But
Yeah,
those 3 interceptions. Mm.
that's not going to win you the game.
Oh, and you saw it. Kansas State. What grit this team showed, man. That was out of nowhere. Usually, when you see unranked teams down by 21 in the second half to a top three AP top three team, usually you're thinking, "Oh, it's over. This is about to be blow up time. It's about to be, you know, send you back home time." No, no, Kansas State did not let that Oklahoma offense score another point from that point on, and they scored 24 straight. Dude, Gus Johnson was on the call, and I was like, "Oh, this is heaven."
Yeah, it it was a good game, very exciting.
Oh yeah, I was just waiting for Gus Johnson's calls to just really kick in. I'm like, oh baby.
Yeah, I'm ready when he calls some Big Ten games because I feel like Gus Johnson and the Big Ten are an unmatched duo.
Oh yeah, that is very nice. But speaking of quarterbacks, welcome to the SEC, Mike Leach, bro. I know this man KJ Costello did not just drop 623 and 5 touchdowns on the LSU Tigers at Death Valley.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive win. I really nothing else to say. I mean, impressive win. He just shut down LSU. Honestly,
Yeah, that was shut down. I was shocked, bro. I mean, I'm talking to my fellow LSU fan. I'm just like, dude, this is looking mighty close here. He's like, don't worry, we'll pull this out. Didn't score another point from that point on. Eh.
yeah, yeah. It's something about LSU fans and their unmatched confidence.
Yeah, yeah, it's been pretty bad, man. It sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you, but so we're gonna find a way somehow, Drew, to make these week 5 picks because we again have some really good games on tap. First, I want to start with an SEC matchup. We got Texas A&M and Alabama, who have had a couple of good games in the past.
I'm gonna take Alabama. Again, I don't really know much about either of these teams. Um, Alabama. I mean, Alabama's Alabama. I saw that they played pretty well against Missouri. I really didn't care to turn that one on.
No,
Um, Alabama's just Alabama. I feel like they're always going to be at the top of stat sheets. Always going to be at the top of game Yeah, I'm gonna pick Alabama.
Yeah, Bama is Bama. I got Alabama.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. No disrespect to the top 10 Texas A&M, but Alabama is Alabama. I would love to see an upset though, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
All right, I got an interesting one for you. Memphis SMU, the rematch of that classic Saturday night football game.
I like this matchup. I like both teams are pretty good. I think I'm gonna take Memphis though. I really, 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 really like what they've done in the American. The past 2 years they have been very, very impressive. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna take Memphis. I feel like they are gonna be good this year. They were good last year, and yeah, I don't think anything has changed. I think they are going to win this one.
Interesting. You know what? I'm gonna take that team from Texas because we got some Texas football here, bro. I got SMU. I think I think SMU is going to get paid back for what happened last year, and I think Bouchel is gonna have himself a decent game. I think I trust him more than I do Brady White. Um, and that Bentley has been going crazy so far. He's got 7 touchdowns already in 3 games. So I feel like SMU is going to pull this one out.
Yeah, I probably I wouldn't be surprised, but man, I like what Memphis has done in the past few years.
Yeah, I really like Memphis football. They're so good, and plus they got the combination of the Honolulu blue and silver.
Hey, I feel like it's more navy, honestly. It's lighter blue. I'm not sure if it's Honolulu. I don't think it's Honolulu, but it's like almost a combination of both navy and Honolulu. It's like
Yeah,
light blue.
like a light navy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, Saturday Night Football. This primetime game on ABC is uh well interesting. Oklahoma and Iowa State.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, Iowa State, they were ranked, lost. Oklahoma, ranked, lost. Both teams kind of underwhelming in their first games. Uh, this is again pretty tough. I think I'm going to take Oklahoma though. I don't see a team named. I mean, we saw Kansas State, maybe Iowa, maybe the state of Iowa will be able to pull off an upset. I don't see it though. Um, I've got Oklahoma.
Yeah, Iowa State's big brother Hawkeyes, they sure know how to pull off some upsets, but then again, they're still a little brother. I don't think Iowa State will win this one. I would hope they would, but I don't think I think Spencer Rattler's going to come back from that bad second half.
Yeah.
It should be a really good one though. But I'm really going to be keeping my eyes on, and this is so tough because both games come on at the exact same time. Auburn and Georgia.
That is a fantastic game. Honestly, Kentucky kind of gave Auburn a scare in the first half, especially that first quarter. The return, 100-yard pick six, and then it got called back for targeting. That was
Mhm.
crazy. Um, but man, this is a tough one. Uh, to I think I'm going to take Auburn. Honestly, I think Auburn is. I just think they're better than Georgia. Georgia, I don't know. I got Auburn. That's all I'm going to say.
Give me Bo. I got Auburn too. War Eagle! Because I feel like Auburn really, I feel like Bo Nix. I really like Bo Nix. And I don't think Georgia still has that quarterback situation completely figured out post Jake Fromm. Uh, I think that Auburn defense might give the Bulldogs some fits, and especially with Sanford Stadium not being at 100% capacity like it normally would be for it to be a tough place to play. I think Auburn and Bo Nix they're gonna go into Athens and pull this one out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think they are a better team. I'm just gonna pick Auburn.
Yeah, dude, I really like it. Oh, and one last thing before I move on, bro. Texas and Texas Tech had that shootout, bro. We both picked Texas, and bro, what is it with onside kicks in Texas, bro?
Dude, that was man. I was honestly I was rooting for Texas Tech because I don't like Texas, but I mean I was fine either way because we did both pick Texas. That was a close game, but Texas Tech kind of choked.
Oh no, that was definitely a choke. Texas scored the last 22 points in that game, bro, and they recovered. Oh, guess what? An onside kick, and then they had a 2-point conversion factored in. Down by 15 in Texas. Cowboys Falcons. Anybody?
Yeah, yeah, and red.
Oh,
I can't make that comparison
black and
because
red, black and
uh,
red.
yeah, I mean black and red, but one team played an orange team, and the other team played a blue team.
Ah,
So, so it's kind of. I mean, I guess we'll say the red team choked. Red team choked. So Cardinals are gonna choke today against the Lions. Blue team, red team.
ah.
That's not
Oh,
gonna happen. It's gonna be
you're,
the other way around.
you're really funny for that one. But speaking of choking, last week I said there's no way the White Sox are giving up the division. This
Yeah.
one with 1 week left. Enter the 6 game losing streak. Here come the Twins. Wow.
Yeah, I was also surprised that the Twins. Hey, they just don't want to play the Yankees, man. You talked about it last week. You're like, they have that long losing streak against the Yankees, and they heard this. They listened to every single player on their team. Listen, they're like, "Up, we need to start winning, and we need to put a curse on the White Sox, start losing, and we will not play the Yankees." But right now, they're set up against the Astros. I would like that series, but I would also like the White Sox versus Athletics. That would be a good series as well.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the playoff matchups are still juggling up in the air. So we by this time this episode's out, we'll know who's playing who. But dude, as for right now, I mean, dude, it is 9 in the morning. We're doing this at 9 in the morning, 9, 10 in the morning, bro. This is so unpredictable right now.
I honestly hope that the Phillies can get in over the Giants. It looks impossible right now, but I hope something happens to get the Phillies in.
Yeah, it'll take a lot. Obviously, the Phillies have to beat the Rays, the the AL's best team, and then they have to hope that the Padres can get one more on the Giants, and then they have to hope that the Cardinals can beat the Brewers.
So much has to happen, but man, I think the Phillies Dodgers, that would be a good series. I think it'd be better than the Giants Dodgers.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. Postseason stuff. We'll make picks when the brackets are set.
Yeah.
But for now, Andrew, I did have a trivia question for you guys last week.
Yeah, you did. This one was kind of tough. It was interesting though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Although one of the teams involved in question you really do not like, but I asked when was the last time that both of the Stanley Cup finalists had championship droughts of 15 years or longer.
Well, with that being said, he said a team I didn't like, so I'm presuming that's the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blackhawks. Uh, they they played in. I mean, I guess it would be the Flyers 2010. That makes sense.
Yeah, you would be correct. The Chicago Blackhawks and the Philadelphia Flyers in the 2010 Stanley Cup Final. The Blackhawks hadn't won the cup in 49 years, and the Flyers hadn't won it in 35 years at the time.
Yeah,
Whew.
I remember that. That was an insane final game in that cup. I probably wasn't watching live, but I've seen the highlight. That was a crazy series.
Okay, I was about to say, dude, you were 6, 7 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah,
How do
I
you,
wasn't
how on
watching
earth?
that. No.
I was about to say, dude, I was about to walk up and get out of my room because I'm like, I can't take this. I can't take this sports luck anymore.
Dude, yeah, I can't even remember Red Wings Penguins, so I definitely don't remember Blackhawks Flyers. I just seen highlights.
Yeah, okay, but your turn, man. What you got for us?
I'm gonna go pretty easy today. In the MLB playoff season, I got an MLB playoff question from actually this year. So if you've been paying attention, this one should be pretty easy. Which two MLB teams clinch playoff spots for the first time since 2003 and 2006?
Whew.
Easy. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, although off the bat, there's so many playoff teams that I'm not seeing used to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that is a good point too. Uh, we have seen so many crazy teams make the playoffs this year, man. I'm so excited.
Oh man, that should be a very good question. I can't wait. I can't wait for that. I'm gonna have to do my research on this one because, whew,
All right. Yeah. I mean, 2003, 2006.
03 and 06. Okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, gotcha. But yeah, man, obviously Covered a lot today. What else is new? We do this all the time. Um, I mean, this. I'm telling you, man. I said September was going to be the craziest month of sports in 2020, and here we are. It has delivered.
Dude, yeah, I mean, right before October too. Hey,
Yeah,
last episode of September. It was a pretty exciting one.
yeah, dude. Usually, I say October is the best month of sports, and that's normal circumstances. But now, dude, look. This week, the NBA Finals and the WNBA Finals in the same week. Then you obviously have the NFL midseason, getting heated up. Then you have the MLB postseason. Dude, we're going to have three postseasons running at the same time. That is
Hey,
too lit.
and if the Stars force Game 7?
Oh, oh, that's going to be too good. Too golden. That's going to be too golden.
Come on, Stars.
Yeah, Drew's rooting on you guys.
Come on.
Oh, man.
Let's go.
This should be fun, but same time next week, man.
Yes, sir. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or any other streaming device. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias at Top of the Standings on Twitter and at Top of the Standings on Instagram and Facebook. This has been Top of the Standings. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.